Bosco, are you ready to have fun?
If this doesn't look like fun, then I don't know what fun is.
So the problem we have today is that we gotta put this car together and make it look nice for Drift Week. So the car is dead though. So we have to break into it, which requires getting into the car, and the keys are inside of it and the doors work by electric. So you can't pop the trunk or can't pop the doors, you can't pop the hood or anything. But what we've done before in the past is we've taken a screwdriver and we've put it down through these vents onto the alternator, and then we've jumped it through that way so we can pop the hood and pop the doors, and then we charge it and start it and move it. So that's what we're gonna do, and it's gonna be fun. Let's go. This is gonna work, right? Sparks coming from the wheel well.
Yeah, well, that's it. Background. Welding your wheel bearings. Is there anywhere underneath you can put on? Like the actual suffering?
I didn't want to get on the ground, Bosco.
Oh, God, this is terrible.
This is weird. This really sounds like a you problem. Reordering wires.
You know what, Bosco? This is getting real expensive, and you know it works. So why bother?
Was it stuck?
I don't know, dude.
How good are you at peeing on the camera?
I get full stream every time. Up. Battery's already dead anyway. This thing was making a lot of noise on Drift Week, and we were like, oh yeah, it's definitely the torque tube bearings are shot, and I guess we were right.
Oh, maybe not. Okay, want me to do it? Oh, that was good! I think you had a rat in there.
Yeah, it looks like we had some mice. Man, we trusted this thing, like driving all through California and stuff like that. I even took it to the track one day. We were like, man, that thing's loud. I don't know if we should drive it. I'm like, I'll drive it. I'd like to talk about every bad decision that I'm about to make on this car. So, as you can see, I've got the Corvette up in the air. I'm running a little bit behind with the transmission and a few other things. I actually needed some parts for the transmission because it turns out that the new one that I have is out of a Z51, I think, and the old transmission that was in this car is a non-Z51, and it doesn't have this car doesn't have coolers on it for the trans and the diff and stuff. So the new transmission has a pump on it and a return for all the trans and cooler lines and stuff like that. So I definitely can't use that. But what I can do is I'm just going to pull off the pump. I ordered the fittings for the outlet of the transmission, and I'm going to pull off of the pump, and I'm just going to run an AN line over to the actual return on the side of the transmission, and that should be fine because I don't really need coolers. I never needed them before, so why do I need them now? And just to get this car in and running, you know, that'll work fine. So I think there's fittings on these.
Waggy.
The Waggy
J. Caddy. Call this one slow.
Yeah. Well, it's slow right now, no doubt. It doesn't run.
It's getting a little bit of weight reduction, though, so that's cool.
Is the weight reduction me stealing parts off of it?
That's right.
I just need these two 90-degree fittings. Boom.
Boom.
It's tight. It's tight right there.
Better all clear if you use a grinder.
I bet you it would.
Doesn't look structural. Famous last words.
I know, right? All right, I'm fine with grinder. Do you think it's a transmission is like engine oil? Where you're like trying not to get like little pieces of flakes of aluminum in there when you're...
Nah, I don't think that matters.
I mean, you're just adding a little bit of aluminum back to the bearing, right? You know what I mean? Like... Oh, dude, we did it. This is a happy day. World's best mechanics. All right, so me and Chulo got the car together the other day. We got the transmission into it. We also bolted in most of the bolts for the center. I've got to still do the actual main bolts around the, or maybe I did those already. Yeah, I already did those. So I actually have less work than I thought I needed to do. So we did the bolts there. I've got to do the shifter still. I still have to connect the brake lines, make sure that those are hooked in and tied together. I have to bleed the e-brake. I have to bleed the brakes in the car itself for the rear brake because we had to disconnect this side when we take the whole rear end out. So have to bleed the brakes. Got to make sure the coilovers are tight. Got to make sure the upper control arms are tight because we took those out as well. And that pretty much is going to wrap up the rear end on this thing. Throw spacers back on it, throw the wheels back on it, and it's ready to drive. So you guys might notice something different about this video versus the other videos. I actually have a friend of mine who I've been kind of shooting video to and showing him what I'm doing, and he's been looking at it and giving me advice on different things. One of my big pet peeves about YouTube videos is terrible audio. When you like hear like, you know, the sound drops out or you hear tons of background noise. And so I've been working on making sure that my videos have like really great audio, which I'm hoping that's what I'm achieving right now. So I was talking to him, Chris Chapala, good friend of mine, and he's a great guy and awesome photographer and videographer and stuff. So I'm not trying to be anywhere near as good as him. I'm just trying to make stuff a little bit more enjoyable to watch. So I talked to him. He gave me some suggestions on equipment. I got these Rode microphones. So they're like lavalier microphones. They got like a little thing here and got a little microphone up here. So you know, hopefully that's going to be good. I got a few of those, so I can kind of have, if I have friends here working, we can all have our own channel and be talking, and like you guys can probably hear everything that we're saying, which is going to be kind of cool. And I also got a camera, so I got a nicer Sony camera. It's older, but it should work fine. I'm hoping that, you know, I'm not going to break the bank on everything that I'm buying, but that I'm still going to have good quality. So I got that. I've got a few other things on the way. I have a second camera, same thing that I'm recording on right now, but that won't come in until next week at some point. And I got a DJ, like one of those DJI tracking gimbal things, and I'm hoping that like, well, I can have 2 cameras set up, and like, you know, we can kind of film in different areas, and that it'll like, you know, I can get a little bit better shots in different areas. So that's what I'm looking forward to. So I'm hoping by the next time I come up with a video, I'll have all that out there. I hope you guys are hanging out with me and keep watching, and I guess subscribe and stuff, because that's, I guess, what everyone's after. So yeah, talk to you soon.